We have some busted flush draws. We're not gonna have 10-9 diamonds, so I think this is just a mandatory jam. Maybe we get him to fold ace 4, ace 2s actually. We have all the pocket 3s on the flop. We have 6-7 diamonds, king 3 diamonds, 5-3 diamonds. What? What? Let's crush. Okay, this is actually... I think this is the spot where I just want to donk jam. Get him off ace 10 diamonds and stuff. Yeah, just gonna do that. We have a lot of overbet jams from the big blind on this board. Pretty interesting spot. I know this might look like a fish move, just donk jamming up front, but this spot, you can just practice it in a few minutes to see whether this is actually something we want to do in theory. And as we've seen over the last couple of months, donking becomes more and more popular, and I want you to be prepared. This takes hours to study and to really internalize, and I've prepared a quiz for you where just in a few minutes you can learn a lot when it comes to donking these flops. It's going to simplify a lot in your game. So yeah, be prepared to see whether king 9 off is actually GTO approved or if it's just a punt. And also I will share with you how I perceive population to react and whether we actually want to take it further, being more aggressive against population, or whether we should actually do it less. All that and more in a quiz that I've prepared for you, that just in a few minutes you're going to be learning so much about these spots and lots of value in this, so check it out. I'm going to make a set here, trying to choose a sizing. Even if we bet 1/3 with big sizing on the turn, we still can get it in, all in on the river, which would be pot. And he's drawing that.
A few moments later.
I lost the 6-6 hand? Wait, what? Oh my fucking god. I thought... Oh my god, I didn't even see his 2 pair. Oh, Bencb, you have some issues reading boards lately. I really thought he's drawing that. I thought he has second pair. Oh god, that's embarrassing. I mean, this guy, I don't know what he's doing. We're just gonna put him all in. I would have called him all in anyway. The good old min 3 bet with kings. I'm making him. Make the jack 5 of clubs. Yeah, I mean, I'm not folding this hand anymore with these deck sizes, but... Jesus, like, what the fuck? Sixes. I open with 9 big blinds. Oh my god, dear god. Like, just jam it pre... I was thinking I'm milking him, and he's like, let's milk Bencb. All in. Unlucky. Unlucky, unlucky. It's just sometimes how it is. King 10 off. We're certainly going to be raising the flop. And top 2 pair is strong enough to go broke. Good luck us. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? GG. GG, goodbye. Wait, are we out in the Sunday main? Ace King against Ace Jack? Oh, sad story. We're on with the pocket 5s. And now in the money. Oh, you have an easy call with 5s here, blind versus blind. Or just a reshove. I mean, this goes in anyway. GG, 11th, and here we get 2 calls. We got a fade a lot here. Wow. Wow, 3 were in against 4 overcards pre-flop. Not bad, not bad. Ben, since being Star Sampler, do you have the idea people change the way they battle you at the table? I think people in general like to be a bit more out of line in certain spots. This hasn't really changed. I think probably it has increased a little more since it's a bit more visible with the PokerStars spade that is displayed on the table. 3 is overcard for your pocket. Do you need some glasses here? Probably. Well, the way I'm running today, I feel like even a fucking 3 is an overcard to my 5. So just be quiet, my friend. Aces. Let's go. Ha! Against tens. He's all in for 10 big. He has $170 bounty, so definitely gonna go for the gamble here with pocket 4s. Ace jack. No 5. Thank you. And ace king here against a7. We hold. We have good stacks in the micro millions, in the turbo last chance, and in the $22 8 max main. With only 5,000 players left, but we are in 200th position, so not that bad. I have to call this. I am bluff went wrong here with Jack 10, unfortunately. And we jam the 9s here, and we call the ace queen. Oh my god, this is just so pain. Yeah, final table, Bobby boy. Ace king suited. It's nice if he jams or one of these. Like, he's gonna open really wide because they're all very short. So I don't want to jam. I want to 3-bet. I want to actually play this spot very aggressive, and I also want to my ace kings, ace queens be 3-bet calling here. I expect a lot of jams from like ace 5 and these hands. Would just be more fun if it would be ace 5 and not pocket 5s. But what can you do? I like his jam. I think it's very nicely recognized by him, the situation. And then 5s is like, it's like kind of like a premium hand in those spots. I mean, he's flipping against ace king, ace queen, right? And he has massive forward equity against my ace 9 off and ace 6 suited. Whatever, I'm 3-betting there, and now we just have to get it in and hope to flip, win a flip. No. From having good prospect to run deep in basically bust on 2 hands, I kind of jinxed it, no? This might actually be already. I mean, we have to call against the button range. I think I'm gonna go with it. If he folds, it's just with all the dead money, we have already 1, 2. It's even better. I mean, Jesus. Whoa! We win those 4 big blind pots. Quartz, let's go! During the Jack 10 suited, I'm gonna check call this board. I'm gonna call one more time. With my gutter still ahead against ace 10s, king 10s, ace 9s. And we can still improve with a jack, with a 10, with a 9. I don't mind calling down this one. I mean, it's only ace queen. Queens. Alright, GG. I mean, I actually don't mind calling this combo. But like, queens not getting in pre-flop, I would have not expected, to be honest. I mean, it's a micro millions $22 tournament. And from what we've seen, his value range is very thin. Ace queen. I don't think people jam king queen. It's king queen that's not jamming. Queen jack only 2 combos. 10-9 suit only 3 combos. So yeah, I think it's okay to call this down. And it's just so easy to bluff your king 10, to bluff your ace 10, to bluff your ace 9. Maybe they don't end up bluffing at all, and I just might also been just one of these mental spots where I've been falling the entire day like fucking crazy. And then you just end up calling one spot, and of course they have it, but yeah, that's just sometimes how it is. Is having the 10 kicker bad, you block his main bluffs, I think. Yeah, this is JPVC, thanks for the sub for 3 months, appreciate it. Well, the thing is, the main bluffs are gonna come from his 9x, ace 9 suited, king 9 suited. So having the 10 is, because he's going to bluff with more frequency with 9x than 10x. It's like we're gonna have some king 10s and ace 10s that play like this. So you're probably bluffing ace 10, king 10, I don't know, 50% of the time, and then your king 9, ace 9, maybe 100% of the time, you know. So like you always, if you have a king, you block his king 10s. If you have a 9, you block king 9, ace 9. You have a 10, you're always gonna block bluffs. But the 10 is a little bit better and a little bit more relevant than the 9 in my opinion. So like if I have jack 9 suited, for example, or I have 9-8 suited, I would fold these full frequency. And with ICM and edge, I think it's just a fold. It's just me, idiot, leveling myself into hero call, which is something that I'm even preaching in my own tournament masterclass, and I'm just such a moron that is not capable to find the fold button. It's just how it is. And you see it, it happens, but I'm of course trying to reduce as much as possible. Because then you go through, okay, like ace queen sometimes jams pre, king queen is not possible, queen jack suited is very unlikely, 10-9 suited was only 3 combos, and then he has all these potential bluffs, which are like 10 to 15 combos, and we only need to be right, like, what was it, like 1/3 on the river, we need to be right every 4th time or something like that. It's like, nice sizing by him, I like it. Could even have some turn jams. Can you imagine that he jams his turn now? Or this continues betting big. We have an easy call here. This, for example, is a spot where I think that, I mean, we call turn, but like it's better to have something like 10-9, 9-8, because his main bluffs are probably going to be coming from queen 6. I'm going to be jamming here. I'm going to be coming from king queens, ace queens, and yeah, we have to call this. That looks really bad. 4. So I think queen jack is actually not that great. I think something like king 10 or like the 10-9s, pocket 9s might actually be much better. He's not 3-betting queen 9 suited. So I think I'm gonna make a reasonable fold. We'll go 3-bet here. Not the worst flop. Actually, this would be a decent combo to call down with, because he's not supposed to bluff spades. We unblock queen 10s, which are very high frequency birds, like queen 10 hearts, queen 10 clubs, or his ace 10s. I think it's even better to call king 9 than king 10. Could have ace 5. Ace 5 is pretty nasty. Yeah, I think you want to be folding like king 9 and hearts. You know, you can have 10-9 hearts, etc., 10-9 clubs. I think I'm going to call this down. I mean, we need to call down some hands. We cannot just call down king jack, and I think it's just a decent hand to call down with. Yeah, exactly this combos. I like his bluff. I think it's a fine hand to bluff with. Hey guys, that was a crazy hand and a pretty sick pot here with more than 300 big blinds. So I ran this spot in Pyro Solver. I open raise from the button. He 3-bets to $550. We call. He c-bets. We call. He bets the turn pot and he jams the river for pot again, which puts us in a very dicey position. And this is very important. I just want to listen to you for 1 or 2 minutes. This is not going to take for too long, but this can really help you to make good river calls. And let's look into it. This is a spot on low stakes where you can probably fold everything but sets and 2 pairs here because, yeah, your opponent needs to be able to be very aggressive, and this is just not happening on low stakes. So if we look into the spot in Pyro Solver, so we go to the river situation here. If he has queen 9 suited, he's supposed to go all in. His preflop range looks something like this. Queen, very, very linear, suited hands, suited aces, and we defend something like this, purely based on GTO. I think as on these stakes, people play very close to GTO. I would definitely make heavy adjustments. You know my game on lower stakes. So flop and turn. Turn actually is not supposed to barrel that much with the queen 9s. It's mostly queen 10s. His flush draws, weaker flush draws, and also 6s and 5s want to bet. On king jack, you don't have that many value hands. I mean, even ace king wants to start checking sometimes. King queen is kind of thin to go for 3 streets. It's all right, of course, but then you're gonna want to be checking your king 10s. You want to be checking your king 9s. You want to be checking your queens. So you really only have aces, kings, jacks, even though jacks wants to check here, which actually is very surprising to me. And then the king jacks, of course. So you still have a decent amount of value hands, but it's not like that you have an infinite amount of combos here. So you have to be very mindful with your bluffs. And on the river, we have the 3 in clubs, and now he jams. In case he was bluffing with queen 9, it's a mandatory jam. The queen 10s not blocking spades, definitely want to be jamming here. And then some of these, yeah, a6 and spades want to jam, which I find quite surprising, to be honest. I mean, you block 6, 5 and spades, so like a6 and spades is the only hand. The other spade combos don't really like bluffing. And if we look into our calling range, we see that king queen is actually really bad to call. King queen and hearts, king queen and clubs. You don't want to have, he's not supposed to bluff with queen and spades. If he has ace queen and spades or queen 10 and spades, it's mostly going to be give up. So we don't want to have the queen and spades. We want to have the queen and spades because he's not supposed to bluff with this. So his main bluffs are going to be coming from queen 10 and clubs, queen 9 and hearts. So you see, and this is where a lot of players are doing the mistake. Oh man, king queen, I'm top of my range. So I fold king 5, I fold king 8, and I call king queen. Well, think about it. King queen or ace king is probably the worst hand he's jamming for value. So it doesn't really matter whether you have king queen or king 8. But a queen is pretty stupid to have because you block a lot of his bluffs. So we see that actually king 9, king 8, king 7 are way better calls, right? King 10 is also pretty dicey. King 9 in spades here. He's supposed to jam some 9-8 spades. So like king 9 is actually not so good of a call. He wants to call sometimes. And also if I let the sim run longer, it's probably getting closer to 0 or slightly plus EV. Otherwise it wouldn't show it as a call. But yeah, king 9 is pretty much flipping a coin and then deciding 50-50. And I think Dex also in particular is a very aggressive opponent. So in hindsight, I still like my call here. And I decided to make the call and he showed up with queen 9 spades. I really like his bluff. I think he played it really well. So let's continue with the video. I would also check this board a lot. It does not really connect with our range. Go to call. Interesting gutter. With the gutter I call, without the gutter I would fold. The 3, like, it just gives us so much so sick implied odds. I'm gonna jam this. He could have backdoors, King Jack clubs, King 4 club, or like King Jack, King 10 clubs, King 8 clubs, King 9 diamonds. Sorry. So I definitely want to be. I mean, it's hard to have anything worse. We have 6-7 gets there, 6-7 diamonds. We have pocket 3s. We have some busted flush draws. We're not gonna have 10-9 diamonds, so I think this is just a mandatory jam. Maybe we get him to fold ace 4, ace 2s actually. We have all the pocket 3s on the flop. We have 6-7 diamonds, king 3 diamonds, 5-3 diamonds. What? What? 8-7 diamonds. I mean, wow, sick. I mean, no offense. I mean, it's a good call, of course, but did not expect him to call it 8-7 there. I mean, I think the 7 in diamonds is called is Japanese tea. I mean, he has a 7 in diamonds, so I can't have 7-6 in diamonds. So it's like we both have good blockers. But I just think he has like all the ace 4s, ace 5s. I mean, I would rip aces here on the river. It just, he's not raising ace 3 on the flop. He just calls it, and then it's like he can never have a 3, right? He can have 6-7, and like some of them he bets, some of them he jams. So I just have a clear value jam with aces and 5s. I have all this, yeah, I have 6-7 at least in clubs and diamonds. I have pocket 3s. I have ace 3, 4-3 suited, 5-3 suited, pocket 4s I'm jamming for value. So I think this is just wow. I mean, I have king 6 diamonds, king 7 diamonds, queen 6, queen 7 diamonds. I think I'll fold 10-9. I don't have 10-9 or jack 10 diamonds on this turn against an overbet with just a naked flush draw. Gonna second barrel the turn. He's gonna have like 6s, 7s a lot of the times. Definitely a good card that we can barrel with. Get him to fold some floats with a 6-7. And river. River I would give up because it's only ace 3 in spades and 4-3 in spades that we're trying to fold out. I mean, he can still have 10-9, king 10. I just hope he checks those a decent amount of the time. 6-7 gets there, which is pretty painful. Ace 2s in spades. Yeah, we bluff 10-9, 9-8 these hands, but we don't want to bluffing ace king, I think. Yeah, we have much weaker hands we can bluff with. Maybe checks a7 in spades, ace8 in spades. We still have decent amount of check EV. Maybe bluff catch. I don't hate the bluff catch here, chat. We block the ace queens and ace jacks, king jacks, which is pretty important. He doesn't have 4s. King 10, 10-9, 10-8, 9-8. I think it's a bluff catch actually. Queen jack off. Nice hand, sir. Yeah, I just think ace king wants to be calling here sometimes. 10-9s, king 10s, 7-8, 8-9, all these hands are jamming, which we are not bluffing or blocking with. And we're playing some heads up, then we got ace king off. It was really running really good so far. It was a bit of a change in momentum. So I 3-bet pre-flop. We want to be 3-betting quite aggressive, as you can see. Lots of suited hands, mostly suited hands. I mean, we're relatively deep. With ace king is a mix of betting and checking, so nothing too spectacular. He calls queen, and we also see that he has a lot of suited hands. His off-suited hands are going to be broadways, and then the strongest off-suited aces, 10-9, 9-8 off even. So the queen, we see the ace king offs. We mostly want to continue barreling. I had the ace and hearts, king and diamonds. Let's just check. Yeah, ace and hearts, king and diamonds. So I 3-bet him, I bet the flop, I barrel the turn, which I really like. The queen just really improves my range. I'm going to be having more queen X that bluffs the flop with than he is calling with. So we see we remain quite aggressive. 50% barreling in a 3-bet pot out of position is quite a lot. So we go for the 2/3 pot, which is totally sufficient. 4 of hearts, and then ace king actually doesn't mind jamming the river. We would get him to fold jack X. We wouldn't get him to fold 10s and 9s, which called flop and turn. We would get him to fold something like king 5, 6, 5, 7, 5 suited, all these kind of combos. So I like the bluff. I like jamming ace king off. Wants to jam here. So then once we checks and he goes all in, we see he's supposed to do it with all the flush draws. He's supposed to do it with king 10 sometimes. Even, yeah, 10-9, of course, 100% frequency. And he's also supposed to jam a jack like jack 9, jack 8, which I don't think he's doing. And assuming that, we see that ace king off once in a while wants to flick in a hero call. It's overall more like a fold. But once he doesn't start jamming those jack X and he starts jamming his bluff with 9-8 in spades, 10-8 in spades, and I don't think he's going to be checking it back. I mean, I would perceive to have these ace king barrels. I will have ace 4 barrels. I will have ace 3 as barrels. I would have some stronger draws that I give up with ace 10 spades, king 10 spades. So he has an easy time bluffing with 9-8 spades, 7-8 spades, 6-8 spades, all these kind of hands, right? That wants to be bluffing here. And then even king 10 off, I can see him bluffing them way more and not shoving all the jack 9s. Even though he's an incredibly good high stakes heads up player, I guess, I presume that ace king actually could be a very good call here. I'm not so sure. I mean, this is one of these very close spots anyway. Sometimes you have to make these calls because you're going to be jamming mostly your value hands, right? So your range on the river is mostly like 4-6 suited, ace 4 suited that you check, ace king. We see that our range is a few traps, ace jack, king jack that we check, or queen jack, but like we see, we just have a bunch of folds here. We have a bunch of 5x, 4x, ace kings that we come to the river with, and we need to defend some of them. And we call any jack for sure, but also, you know, an ace jack we could just jam for value as well easily here. So very close spot, and I hope I was able to, yeah, also shed some light onto this spot. I mean, I'm not studying heads up as much as I do with tournament poker, so I'm definitely feeling not so confident in a lot of these big pots than I would do in tournaments. I hope you guys have enjoyed this little review of those two key hands from in a 5K session from the recent Sunday. Ace king suited, we jam. Nobody wants to bust here. All right, we got a call. Big blind jam, small blind fold would be ace 8 off. Yeah, could be okay. Oh. Always a sweat. All right, GG. It's not meant to be today with all-ins. GG. That was actually a nice final table. It's like 25k for first. There's always an awkward stack size. Oh, wow. GG. That was pretty rough today. That was pretty rough.